Welcome to the last day of Ether raids for this Astra season. We're taking on Flip Chair here, or Flip Desk, in another rematch for this season. Hopefully I can get this done so we can go back to watching 90 Days Fiancés. Yo, this show is... it's so good, but it's so, like, toxic. When you get older, this is the type of thing that's entertaining. 90 Day Fiancé, it is really, really good, but so bad. I'm not too focused right now. Here we got the save ball. We're gonna try to tank this and then get out of here. Nurgle will be difficult to kill since it's what Nurgle does, and then also partnered with Ather. It does make him a lot tankier, so I don't know. I kind of want to also avoid the AoE from Egrin as well, so I gotta be a little bit careful with my setup here, and then take it from there. I don't know exactly how to put things together here because I don't want to go up too far on either side, just because of Egrin. I don't want, if I get like a melee hit with an AoE, then it's potentially bad. So there's that. So yeah, that aside, nothing else for me to really think about here. Let's see, what else do I got? This has been a good week. I mean, overall, I think the only new thing that really just caught me off guard was how many save balls, corner balls that I've encountered this week. I really didn't expect that. I built that team at the start of the week. I just put a couple pieces together, and I was like, okay, I can probably use this if there's a corner ball team. But I didn't really test it because I just didn't really get the chance. I had the chance though. I just didn't want to, and also I didn't think I would need to even use it. I didn't think it would be that popular. But wow, lo and behold, it is I saw a couple other people come across that defense archetype as well, so it wasn't just me. So yeah, that's really interesting. Not sure what that means for light dark season because I don't think you can really... Well, actually, yes, you can actually still build the same type of defense for light and dark season in terms of a corner ball, and you can actually make it a lot more toxic in terms of making it harder to play against because Embla is also in that season, and Loki as well, who can shut down just a lot of the things that you would potentially do to counter that. So, and also you don't have Summoner Baby. You don't have the Summoner's Child. How else are you going to explain how Hater just popped up out of nowhere and so all of a sudden I'm the sister? Clearly she's the Summoner's Child. It doesn't make any sense otherwise. So I think that's what happened there, and she got corrupted by the old guy, who we've all completely forgotten about at this point. He was surprise evil. Well, actually, I kind of figured he'd be evil from the get-go. He had that "I'm an evil guy, I'm a bad guy" look on his face. No matter how hard he tried to convince us otherwise, I didn't really trust him. So yeah, Summoner Baby is not in light season, so it's kind of difficult to get that mid-turn triangle attack buff unless you're running Baby Dual Robin. So I don't know how you would really I'm trying to put a team together just to counter that in light and dark season, and it's a little bit challenging because of the pieces. The light mythics are good, but they're not exactly what I need for that type of setup. So I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. I really thought I would double Celica here, but Celica is so fast. I really just sometimes forget how fast she actually is, but that's about all she has going for her. If she had any defensive bulk, ooh, that's actually not good. No way. I was so close to putting Gatry at the top just to avoid this but the AoE, I was I didn't want him to get hit with an AoE. Yikes. Alright, fine, fair. That's fair. I didn't anticipate that one happening, so I'm totally fine with that. What was that, lunge?
What?
Yeah, he got me there. Alrighty, that's a rematch lost. GG's. I'm totally okay with that. Let's play one more. Alrighty, so here is the second attempt. So, same team. This one is a little bit peculiar. I'm surprised that they made it all the way to tiers 37 with this. Don't know what the goal is, but I guess Bernie is the one that's going to be, well, I don't know, 50-50. Well, Felix just does a lot of stuff, so I guess it's like, I don't understand what's going on with this defense. I'm trying to figure it out. I guess Felix can warp out, but the block in front of where Jimbro is kind of prevents Felix from hitting that spot. So you'd really be dependent on Celica to hit there. And then what would Felix actually do? I mean, once the block is broken, then he can come out. But then he's kind of stuck back there otherwise. I mean, he does have the Celica ring, but he is kind of stuck. Really, the only thing that you could do is go up, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up and try to bait the defense. But I'm not worried because, you know, Amelia should be able to tank everything except Micaiah. Micaiah will destroy Amelia. Like, you can probably, like, no, there's no way. Like, the only way, like, Amelia would live is if you swapped out her A skill for Saval and Shield, which pointless. So, yeah, no way. I mean, yeah, I really don't understand this defense, but it's fine. We're just gonna tank this and get out of here. Last match of the week, so we don't do the pots. So let's just try to set this up and then get going. Like I said, I want to go back and watch 90 Day Fiancé. It's really insane. If you know, you know. It looks like they're doing the Happily Ever After, which includes Ed, Big Ed. If you know who Big Ed is. Man, that guy is a douche. But anyways, Summoner Duels is over. Fantastic run. I really don't think I'm going to put that much effort into another one in the future. Like I said, it really took a lot of time and effort to...
What do we do?
I think I spent all of Thursday, like literally Thursday night into the majority of Thursday, putting together a team or all 4 teams, and then around 12 midday I actually started playing.
Why not?
And then around 2 I stopped.
I've got it.
Like I played for 2 hours, lost 2 matches between that time, and then just kept playing, and then I stopped. And then Friday night I picked back up, and I was around Master tier already, Master D. So Friday night, I played 4 matches, and all 4 of them were the draws that I showed. Because Friday night, Thursday night, the worst times to play SD. Thursday night, right at reset. Friday night, because that's when everyone has time, and all you're gonna get is whales. Friday at midnight, all you're gonna get is whales. Everyone else is just out partying and having a good weekend. And then Saturday in the day is probably like the best time to play. Yeah, Saturday in the day is probably the best time to play. Or Sunday, when everyone else has already like finished all their matches and they don't care anymore. But yeah, right at reset is when, on Friday, is when I finished the rest of the matches. So I put off playing. Actually, was it before or after? Like, I played Summoner Duel, I played Aether's, and then I went and finished the rest of the matches, which were the last 6 or 8 matches. So, yeah, that's a lot of time invested just to get Summoner Duels done. And really, what it was is that I've been saying that I need to manage my I can't, like, if I just sit and play, there's gonna come a point when I get fatigued, and I'm more likely to lose, because I just start making bad decisions. It takes like typically an hour or two
What
to
do we
get
do?
through if you're just like locked in, focused playing.
I've got
So that's usually what would happen. I would like make bad decisions and then I would just stop caring.
Is that so?
So to avoid that, I had to break up the matches into parts. Because you typically have to play like 10, I think. You need about 10 wins, if I'm not mistaken, to get to master, to rank 1. So, yeah. It was fun, though. It really was fun, but don't plan to put as much effort into it again. Also, we got like a random banner.
Where do I travel?
Surprise banner, and we're getting tickets for it. There's dual mark on the banner, and I was like, why is dual mark here? Like typically when they give us banners like this, it's to provide us with some skill or some unit that we need for what is to come down the line. So I was just looking at this dual mark and I'm thinking the only thing he really offers is sabotage plus
What do we do?
stall. So I don't really know how that factors into where the meta is going. But aside from that, the majority of the other units on the banner are pretty decent. You got like Sanaki, Byleth, dual Byleth. Green, I remember, had a fairly decent cheer, and colorless was, I can't remember exactly who was on colorless, but it wasn't like, it's not bad units. I was very surprised that this was the type of banner that they would give that many free tickets for, and it's sparkle as well. So yeah, really interested to see what
I've got it.
what reason is behind the unit choices. The fact that dual mark is there makes me think that Lin is more than likely going to be the emblem hero, because there's really no other reason why Mark would be there on that banner, I don't think. So I don't know, that's just like my thought process. I went back in to try to get another copy of Tamara, but man, Tamara hates me because I literally cannot pull another copy. I had to spark the Tamara that I got. She was from the Spark. And I got like 5 Riggins. Plus 2. Yeah, 5 Riggins. So I have a couple of those aid. I have a bunch of aids to give out.
Where do I travel?
Don't know what I'm going to do with them yet because I don't really like value them that highly. So I'm just gonna sit on them for a while and see what happens. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with Reagan either. She's really good, but I just don't have a specific team composition for her. But we'll see. GG's. See you next week. Hello. All right, so we're gonna do the defense replays, but let's check out this random banner that I was talking about that I had no idea they were gonna drop. Cancer control. So that's why this is here. I still feel like there's going to be a Lin ult for the emblem hero this month. I definitely feel like it's her. And then also, this is the main reason I think that this banner is here, this Carla. You're definitely going to need a Carla if you don't have one. I highly recommend that you pick one up. But overall, the rest of the banner is still very, very good. These are premium units. Shamir broke the game when she came out. And I don't have a copy of this Tiki. I also think this Tiki is going to get a cracked refine. I think this is like one of the few Tikis that are actually currently good still. Excluding the Brave version. But you can probably drop that B skill for the Shield Fighter if you don't have a good save. I think she's pretty good. And then there's also Ponza Loki, and I'm looking to get into that like right after this. Like right after I'm done watching 90 Days Fiancé. And this is my Nana here. I need to get a better C skill. I'm still trying to get insight attack speed on her and potentially Clash. And then here is Tina. Not a lot of good skills, but at least I got the Magic Shield Plus. We'll see how that turns out. But so far so good with Nana at least. I really do want to get Clash on her, but worst case scenario, I'll have it foddered from someone else. This was the old defense. I didn't have time to change it before the season, so I ended up getting hit. This was the defense that did really, really well just a couple of weeks ago. This is one of my best defenses that I've ever built, and Felix just kind of makes it irrelevant, particularly with this layout because there's no nair save here. So Nurgle was just never going to be able to win that combat. I mean, maybe on like the second turn, well, he wasn't going to get the Hathorn buffs, so he just was never going to win. And then ultimately, there was no way I was going to take out Fjorm with this defense, so it really just had to be changed. Yeah, Fjorm basically forced me to change so many things. Amelia as a near save, I really like. And I think like if you have near save fodder, I would highly recommend giving it to her or Grima. I think Amelia is probably like second best, or if not the best near save in the game. I know like a lot of people are really high on Gatry, and I'm also high on Gatry as well, but the fact that Amelia is fast and can get like no follow-up with her B skill, the fighter skill, just that is like it's highly valuable for a near save. So I would recommend building Amelia in that way. I don't think she's a very competent far saved. I think she does okay, but really what she needs to be doing is near saving. And then here is Fulgado. He is like, I was so shocked at how well he did. I decided not to do like a full defense replays because I'm actually testing out this map layout. I didn't know how it would go. Here we got Breath of Life, my apologies, Wings of Mercy 4 on Byleth here, but it's probably not her best build. But I just put this together for some fun. And then we got Formortis here, who will be playing a big part in my defenses on Astra Anima moving forward. And here is Fjorm. Of course, you're going to be seeing a ton of her from now on. And yeah, this was the first match of the new defense this is completely new that you're going to be seeing in a couple weeks. Changes, might take out Nurgle, I will take out Byleth because she really was just here for the flex, just for fun. But Nurgle's going to go, Byleth is going to go, so there's going to be 2 open spots for different nukes, so I don't know who those nukes will be, but they're definitely going to be powerful, that much I can guarantee. And overall, I think this was actually a fairly decent layout. One of the things that I mentioned before was that in a older video was that I don't have a defense that's aligned to the right, and I think it's good to have
Just how I like it.
defensive compositions that are on alternate sides, if not even the middle. Well, really, you don't want to be in the middle because that gives your opponent a whole extra side just to go up. So you really want to be on either the left or the right. A lot of times the bolt tower will be like also smack that in the middle, and just all of your team will get hit. So yeah, yeah, this is good for me personally. The other map that I had this on, or a right aligning team on, was the winter terrain map, but it's a little bit too open. This one I found to be a lot more closed off, which was surprising because the blocks there at the front are like breakable. So I didn't exactly expect it to perform this well, but it's done fairly okay, especially with the warping that the Silica Ring provides. Just made this map a lot more easier to build around. I feel like this is a beautiful Thor, very well invested. Although I'm not like because I think she'll get a really good refined Thor. Armor effectiveness will always age well, especially with how much damage she can put out, because a lot of her stats are like put into her attack. So she's gonna do really well in melee matchups. It just depends on what they give her for her refine to her C skill. So that is to be seen. Yeah, this is what you're going to be seeing a ton of in the weeks to come, because Felix just doesn't do anything here. Very, very good to see. I'm happy to see this. If it wasn't for this, I'd probably have to put like Gatry there, but I don't have to do that since Formortis performs exceptionally well with shield fighters. So you're going to be seeing a ton of that. So you probably want to plan around that if you're like looking to initiate with any type of Gale Force strategy into an opposing defense. Now this was the big thing that you had to plan for, and the reason why I chose this map in specific, because of the chase. You see how far back they're able to get. you needed to be able to get to that spot with your defense, and that's, there you go, what I was able to do with this build. And I'm very happy that Fogado can actually do that. Cav movement is good, excellent on him, because you can then combo that with a dancer as well if you really need to. So first couple attempts turned out to be a success. We have a lot of 1 or 2 units defeated, which just goes to show how powerful the tanks are on this defense. Typically what will happen is that the opponent will try to continue playing or keep playing even if they lose a unit, but no one's really doing that because they can't break through the saves, so that's desirable. Here we have a legendary Corrin who is aging really well, all things to be considered. She got that fantastic refine, and then the support here from Felicia, I think it is, giving her the null counter disrupt and the neutralizing dragon effective damage. But really, you don't have like a lot of range dragon effective damage unless it's like Deirdre, Julia, unless they're going to give us like a Julia ult or a Deirdre ult at some. I really think the Jug Drill games are definitely going to get remade, because I don't know what other reason they would have to be so slow with the release of new units from that game title. We haven't really gotten a lot of new units, aside from like Tina and stuff from that game title. So I really think they're like holding off to like remake the game and put it out so that they can start putting out those characters, because I think familiarity with the units and the story affects the popularity of those units, aside from Sigurd and Deidre and Seliph. If we knew more about those units and like were more invested, I think those because it is a really, really good game. I've like watched playthroughs. The story is fantastic. I think Arvis is a fantastic villain. So I really would love to see that be remade to give him a little bit more screen time, and also possibly an ult, because I think he deserves it. Arvis deserves an ult, I feel. It's just to show how powerful he is. So yeah, I definitely think we're going to get a remake of that game. Now, the reason that Micaiah is here is because of Embla. It was either Micaiah or Sigurd or Freyr, but Micaiah has offensive capabilities as well, so I wanted to, just for the mobility of the team, include Micaiah. But Embla is one of the main things that can like throw this type of defensive composition into an array, just break it apart because of her feud effect, and it partners really well with Felix here, but because of Micaiah, they don't get to do that. Now, here is the outcome of that. You get to see this fantastic showdown with Formortis and Felix, where neither one of them are really backing down, and the downside of initiating against Formortis is that your units will get shut off. So as I said before, you're going to see more of Formortis in compositions like this, so definitely keep an eye out. He's not like the best near save in the game, but I think he is definitely worth it for that ability to end turns. Definitely want to invest a little bit more into him. Just 2 more merges left for him to be +10. Hero Rises, I mean, I got like a ton of him for like, I wasn't even pulling on Colas like all that much, and he just came home like every single time, which is stark comparison to Tamara there, who just does not like me. Ended up getting, like I said before, like a bunch of Rakens from that banner. Fjorm here, who, that's the whole reason I summoned for Fogado. And then, they got all the Golvig, the baby Golvigs, the summoner baby, all the Golvigs here. But it doesn't matter because Fogado is just that fantastic. As you will see in a second. Still outspeeds Fjorm with a build that I have. I highly recommend. Well, actually, don't do it because I don't want to face it. Because really, the only way to really counter Fogado is to have physical null follow-up or DR piercing in your weapon, which means you'd have to run one of those fast God Swords, or have DR having passed onto you from, like, let's say Mirin or Camilla. One of those. Well, there's one more that gives it out. I forget who it was, but yeah,
Bye-bye
you'd
now.
really want DR having to be able to take out Fogado, and I mean, even then, it's 50-50 in terms of whether or not you're going to actually be able to win. So, don't do it. I don't want to see it, but I'm assuming that you will, so please be kind. But for now, this is what it is. Pretty much, he just stomps like every Fjorm, as you'll see throughout the replays here. Here is the plus 10 Fjorm, Soren Ball. I guess you could, like, for me personally, for the Soren Ball for offense, I would rather bring just another mythic. You get more, I feel. Well, actually, you probably get more out of Soren because he gives more stats, but I'd probably just bring a mythic because I just feel like it's better. A lot of people went really ham on that banner and got like a ton of Fjorms. I think I got like, I gave Shield Fighter to Grima, to Hector, to, well, there's one other that I just can't remember right now, Corrin, 3, and then I have a +2 merge, and then I have one more. So I really wasn't planning on pulling on any banner like this or that much after CYL, but my god, did they get me with Shield Fighter. There was no way I was going to pass that up. I already knew how good Hardy Fighter was, so yeah, there was really no way that I would have passed up on Shield Fighter. Incidentally, you really don't need it for like anything aside from Ether Rate's defense, but it is very good on Ether Rate's defense, so I highly recommend it. But outside of that, regular Hardy Fighter does the job. So yeah, you just saw there Fogado, or at least that build for Fogado, doing enough to take care of Fjorm. I have a plus speed Fogado. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. Maybe I bless one for Dark Season and just keep him over there, but then that's more fodder. More fodder versus using blessings. I don't know. We'll see. But so far you see that Byleth here has done literally nothing. Her whole role is to take out Ike, and so far there's only been one other Ike and she failed. She really wants to get her special off on the first hit, to be fair, and I've kind of neutered her with the build that I've given her. She really wants Quicken Pulse, or as I said, some way to get her special off on the first hit, and then she wants Occultist Strike or Resonance in her B skill. The idea is to have Fogado go in and then have her warp in and, you know, snipe someone else, but so far that has not been happening in that specific order or at all. This Ike build here really just counters a lot of things. They got the Creation Pulse to actually work on Ike, which is I think it can potentially be his best builds, but also it's very difficult to make work. They've done it by running both Robin and Micaiah, and then dropping his A skill for the extra health. But once Ike is able to consistently get his special off, there's really not a lot that you can do to stop him. One of the ways that we really counter Ike is to stop him from triggering his special, and then we do damage that way by surviving, and we just get to keep going. But if he gets his special off, he's really kind of unstoppable. So the Creation Pulse build here actually put in a ton of work, and I think what will happen is that we'll get more units that can survive Ike moving forward, just by bulk alone. And here Fjorm goes, deciding to attack, unfortunately. But I think we'll get more units that can just survive Ike, or just straight up destroy him. Fogado can do a number on him, as you see there. Ike was doing like 82 damage, so if you have, or if I had a Hardy Bearing on Fogado, that would be a big number being reflected back at Ike. So yeah, Fogado could probably win that matchup if you know, change a couple of things around, but I think if we gave him Hardy Bearing, he might, you know, lose to, let's say, a +10 Fjorm, because he really needs to win that speed matchup against Fjorm. So I wouldn't necessarily invest Hardy Bearing on Figado. You want to put it on someone else. So yeah, here's another Ike. Byleth again tries or will try in this one to take out Ike, but she will fail because again she is not getting her special off on the first hit, which she really needs to do. So there's that. I don't know what special is best for her. Probably, you know, I've heard people say Flair, but again, she needs to get the special off on the first hit. So I guess you really want to get external support. Flare is good, but the cooldown is kind of an issue. Well, I guess it would be charged now because she took a hit. If you're running Hardy Bearing, at least. 16. Getting a special on her first hit would have really helped out there. That is totally a matchup that she could have won. But again, she's really just here for the memes and the flex. But yeah. Really nice as well that she's able to get Scowl versus the melee matchups when she's not attacking. I didn't realize that she could do that, which makes giving her close bonus doubler feasible because she can counterattack from both melee and range if you do that, whereas I think legendary male Byleth has a harder time surviving some of those matchups with his DR. I think what they should have done is probably given one of them like flat damage reduction. Male Byleth, well, I don't think it was that big of a thing when male Byleth was getting his refine, but if they had given him flat damage reduction on his refine, like let's say percentage of his speed, he would have been a lot better as a unit to just run. But unfortunately, he just doesn't do enough. And that is her one kill from Nurgle. But again, Nurgle is totally replaceable on this defense. He doesn't have to be here. So I'm probably going to swap him out in the future for someone better. More than likely an emblem hero, depending on what they do, I think. And here's the last one. Now this guy got really lucky. Yeah, very lucky. I initially thought that this was going to be a some type of Vantage setup with Altina here, because this is all set up to have Altina do the Vantage thing with Sedith. Looking at this Altina, I figured that maybe she could have been able to do it, but they didn't want to commit to it. If they were able to set it up, I think it probably would have worked out, because the only troubling matchup I think would have been maybe Figado and Nurgle, but she should have been able to Vantage sweep everything else, I think. They try to go in, but realize that it's not going to happen against Fjorm Mortis, so they decided to try to just tank with Felix, but this is where they get really lucky. And you gotta just chalk this down to Sedith plus Breath of Life 4, which gave them back the health that they would have needed to survive their 1 HP. That is quite unfortunate, but it happens. It happens, man. And that's that. They're able to clean up from here because units are exposed, so they're just going to go in and take out everything from there with Felix. And that is pretty much it for the defense. If anything comes after this, too bad it didn't happen as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to go back in and then re-report it. I'll probably get hit like one more time, I think. Ear is going to be bonus next week, and she is really bad, but we'll just do what we can. GG's.